The administrative profession holds both routine and unexpected demands throughout each day. Due to each role being unique, much like your thumbprint, there's no manual that makes it black and white or a no-brainer. Having transitioned from the profession myself turned specialized partner, I've been blessed with thousands of one-on-one touch points with admins living this profession each day. Each have shared with me remedies, ideas, and hilarious moments which could help others transition from, and I air quote, the island in which we feel and see ourselves living to a place of community. Each PS episode, of which I'll let you know, PS stands for permission slip, not postscript. These episodes will deliver thought-provoking moments from much of the wisdom gained through the years to help you navigate your admin world. Let's get to today's topic. Hello, everyone. The day that this episode releases is the first day of 2023. And I've chosen to put this episode picky over preference as the first PS episode for the year, because I really want to put into the ears and minds of my listeners some really interesting thoughts around what you're going to do for yourself this year, how you're going to position yourself as a professional, as a person, operating within society, and the ideas and concepts I'm going to be sharing with you today. I did a little bit of research. As many of you know, I do research before I get in front of this microphone. And so I just want to say Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Truth be told, it is August 12th of 2022 when I'm recording this. And so my first part, I'm not ready to personally speak to, but I will be when I listen to this episode all by myself on the first day of the year. What are your intentions? A lot of people think about doing New Year's resolutions. I personally have shifted my mindset to what's my intention? What are the goals and the milestones to get to that larger goal that I have for myself? It could be fitness, which traditionally it always is. I'm going to be a year older this year, so are you guys. So a lot of the times people pick a theme word for the year, something that they keep falling back on. This is my intention. This is my intention. For 2020, my word was grace. And wow, did that pay off. For 2021, I actually don't remember what the word was. For 2022, it was joy. It actually felt so small. It's 3 letters, but I kept falling back on, I'm just looking for joy, which ultimately went to, I'm looking for peace in my life, for calm in my life. So here in August of 2022, not knowing what the year 23 is going to hold for me, I don't know my word yet, but I'm excited to sit down on that first day of the year and really think about what I want my fallback intention word to be as I figure out how to move throughout my day. And so I picked picky or preference for the subject of this episode because if you guys are regular listeners, or welcome if this is your first episode, you hear a lot about how we have our posture, what it is that we do and how we engage, the vocabulary that we're using at the office. And as so many of you know, we hear that word just in front of our title. And how do we not absorb these bias and these labels that people put on us? In particular, she or he is so picky. And granted, there's a time and place for pickiness, and then there's a time and a place and a reason for preference. So let me give you the differences between those two so that you have something new to, quote, in your head, defend, and out of your mouth, speak to what it is that you want people to perceive when they interact with you. So I immediately did a quick online search for picky, and most of the articles were about kids and food. And one, I have 2 kids, as many of you know who are regular listeners, and my oldest was definitely a picky, and I will say picky because I'm going to give you the definition, a picky eater. My second kid ate almost anything, pretty much anything. So pickiness is, as I get to the definition here for you guys in my handwritten notes, someone who is picky is difficult to please and only likes a small range of things. Some people are very picky about who they choose to share their lives with, what food they choose to eat. We also are picky about the brands that we're going to pull off the shelf, put in our shopping cart, and purchase. Those things are totally acceptable. There was also another point here in my notes was being picky could be type A. Who heard and felt that comment? You guys have heard me talk about being type A, and I operate as a lowercase a on a regular basis because I'm proud of being type A. However, the grace that I've given myself through the years has helped me not be so picky and have a small range, as I mentioned there in the definition, of things that I'm accepting and the things that I want. And there is a way to make micro steps to leave the uppercase type A and move into a lowercase type A. And it's kind of that transition here with preference. The definition for preference: a choosing of or a special liking for something that is a decision based on context and information. So for your executive, do you have a preference from A to B? You've narrowed down the options, essentially managing up, on what it is that they should be making a decision on because you've done all of the research. You're giving them a chance to have a preference. And if you needed to, you can throw in the letter C as another option. Traditionally, more than 3 could be an issue because I also discovered through the research I was doing, decision theory is a branch of applied probability theory concerned with the theory of making decisions. And this is going to segue me to being picky means you don't essentially want to make a decision. You know exactly what you like. You're at a restaurant. You know what you're going to get. You could be picky because you have all these options, right? Beyond A, B, and C. And you have a preference. In this case, you want to be picky. Maybe you're getting hangry. Maybe you just want to make your decision quickly. So there is a time and a place for, quote, being picky, having a small range of things that you make decisions based off of, or a preference. In the research that I was doing, and when I speak for leaders, I actually talk about the concept of time and cognitive load and decision making and the impact negatively that has on us. Do you know how many seconds there are in a 24-hour day? You don't. We can't have a conversation. I'm talking to myself here into the mic, but I'll tell you, it's 86,400 seconds in a 12-hour day. Imagine you're sleeping a good portion of that, hopefully getting a good 7 hours. The rest of those hours are seconds for you to have to make a decision. If we think of the minute our eyes open and we're like, what's the first thing I'm doing? What am I going to wear today? Am I going to work out? Am I not? And for my female listeners, am I going to wash my hair or not wash my hair? Am I going to get the dry shampoo out? And we're constantly making decisions. And when I'm speaking to leaders in my presentation, I talk about the power of the fact that we make 35,000 decisions in our wakeful hours. 35,000. And if you're picky, you don't want to go through a process of context to decide. You just want to decide because you are picky. And again, it goes back to some of those things of I love these shoes, I love this shampoo, and again, brand connectivity and brand loyalty. Brand loyalty can also be the food. Are you driving through Chick-fil-A? And so on. The preference of having to make a decision is based on you have information overload. So think about your executive, right? That is where you have the power to lead them to make a decision faster because you've done the legwork, the due diligence. You've provided them, here's the situation. Here are 3 really strong options. Which one do you want? You're giving them a chance to have a preference based on the information and the research that you have done. Those 35,000 decisions, there is not a solid case study on how they came up with that number, but through measuring brain wavelengths, they've decided when they've talked to individuals through the research analysis, every time there's a peak when a question is asked and they're checking it on the graph, decisions are made. And man, can you imagine as administrative individuals, exceptional admins, how many freaking decisions we are making on a daily basis down to, okay, I'm just going to stay here for 5 more minutes before I go fill up my water, and an hour has gone by. You made a decision. You made a decision. So I come to you with this wisdom, hoping that as you think about the seconds that pass every day, and I've mentioned this in many other episodes, 60 seconds. If you did a 1-minute plank, it's a long time, right? There's 86,400 seconds in a 24-hour day. When you think about the decisions that you're making, do you want to be picky or do you want to have a preference? And going full circle to the back, and the reason for this is, what is your brand development strategy this year? You are an individual brand. What strategy plan do you have for people to cut off some of the bias that they have about the profession, show up stronger? Your posture, literally verbal, written, and physical posture matters. Are you showing that you make decisions based on preferences connected to context because you did research? Or are you making a decision because you're picky and also restricted on time? Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful year. If this episode really resonated with you and you think someone else would love it, share it away. Also, leave a review on Apple Podcasts to let others know that you appreciate the wisdom shared in each episode. Have a great day. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your time with me and allowing me the opportunity to inspire you. My intention with the PS episodes are to help you stay energized about your profession and continue to love it. Have a great day.